It's no secret that we live on a farm. In fact, I embrace it. To many of my colleagues and acquaintances, it is a curiosity, perhaps even a shock.
Ooh, on a farm? Do you have any animals? I do! How curious! Oh ho ho ho!
Would the colleague go and say that they could never ever in 100 years live outside of Helsinki area. Yet, I don't feel like someone who lives in the country. I feel a bit like a tourist. If I need to go to the shop, I will just hop in my car, drive for 10 minutes and I'll be in the nearest city. If I need to go to Helsinki, the capital of Finland, it will take me merely 40 minutes. So it kind of feels like cheating. Living in the country, but still, near everything. Wait, am I gatekeeping living in the country? Am I gatekeeping myself? Maybe. But maybe I shouldn't. After all, we have chickens, horses and even a dog. And our kid gets to ride on the neighbor's combine harvester. Wait. Scroll back. There! Stop! Enhance. Those aren't horses. I think they are zebras? There's something suspicious going on in here. Farm life sure beats living in the city. All the noise, pollution, everyone is in a rush. So little green, with some exceptions, and so much grey, dusty tarmac. Or in winter, grey slush. But I am not going to lie. Living on a farm is a lot of work. Shoveling manure, taking the horses out and in every day, cleaning the chicken's pen, feeding them, building and moving pastures, fixing up little things around everywhere, mowing grass, mixing the compost, thinking about cleaning the pool someday, getting more hay, getting more fodder for the chickens, shoveling the snow in the winter, getting the mail from the big road. The list is practically endless. Or it would be if I kept making up stuff. Still, after living here for over a year, I can't imagine living anywhere else. Well, maybe a different farm, with a lake and a lakeside sauna. That cost exactly how much? Our child's life would be so much different. Here, during spring, summer and some parts of autumn, our kid spends most of his time outdoors. By his own choice, might I add. Sure, he might play a little bit of some video game or look at some movies from a tablet, but only for a while. For the most of the time, he will just play outside. With us or without us, usually playing while we do some chores. I can't imagine how boring his life would be if we were to live in a city. I mean, let me reiterate, he gets to ride on a combine harvester. On a hecking combine harvester. I am so envious. But life isn't all about children, is it? I've been a city boy all my life, even though early on I spent multiple summers on different cottages. It left a lasting impression on me, even though back then my only toys were pine cows or something like that. And no, toys did not exist in the 90s. Yes, I am sure of it. Only pine cows. My early adult years were spent in a small city, although I went to a school and to university in Helsinki. So I've always been influenced by the so-called big city. But I never liked it. I never decided to live there. After school, I didn't want to spend a minute more in the city. I just wanted to go home, to be at peace. Finally, I think that I have found peace. And it comes in the form of hard labor and the closeness of nature. We're even so old school that we've got 4 generations living under the same roof, just like at the olden farming days. And still, surprisingly, I feel at peace. The daily work is distributed among more people, so there's less to do for one individual, and if one day I can't make it early enough to get the kid from the kindergarten, his grandmother can just go there and get him for me. Sure, there's less privacy, and I would imagine that it would be way too much for an introvert such as me. But it's okay. And besides, it beats living in a city. The main reason for our arrangement is the cost of living, which just keeps on going higher and higher. Besides chores, we also split bills and all living expenses, so we can afford a kind of a higher quality of life. I can afford a newish electric car, and my fiancé can afford to keep horses. I mean, our little farm already comes with stables, so the biggest expense of owning horses is already taken care of. And while we're on the subject of horses, well, horses. They go moo, I'm told by a reliable source. And even though I seem like a true horse professional, I really don't know a lot about them, except that they like scratches and they are constantly spooked about random things. Also, that they are big, and if one steps on you, it will hurt. Also, they are goofballs. So, for the best of the horses, Leila, my fiancée, takes the lead of taking care of them. I help occasionally, but Leila knows her stuff, so I try to get out of the way as much as possible. We've also got chickens. We've had chickens for over a year now, and they've been a reliable producer of eggs since then. Even though the prices of eggs have skyrocketed, we've paid the same for chicken fodder. 4 chickens lay approximately 4 eggs per day. Sometimes less, although never more, quoth the chicken. These little creatures are named by the respective colored bands on their legs. And yes, we were very creative. If you have the space for chickens, they are actually very low effort, very social and otherwise cute creatures. The only negative thing is that there's this avian flu outbreak in Finland, so we've had to cancel their yard time and we have to have minimal physical contact with them, as well as wearing protective clothing when taking care of them and stealing their eggs. Plants. I wish I could boast about how we grow our vegetables and live sustainably on the land, but alas, we do not possess the feat of the green thumb, and our fingers remain pink and our crops unyielded. My fiancé did try last year, but black ants took over our cucumbers and tried to take the zucchini and tomatoes too. Remind me next winter to try cultivating things again. Maybe I'll document my findings and most probably my failings. The previous occupants of the farm had successfully planted some apples, pears, plums, cherries, red currants and black currants though. We're happy to harvest them every autumn, but unfortunately the fruits are plagued by constant brown rot fruit infections, so we lose most of our harvest. To counter this, we would need to get rid of every single of the diseased fruits and turn the whole ground upside down around the tree's area. Now this is a huge effort and would probably require a tractor of some kind, as our earth is a very thick clay and hard to work on. Besides, I am allergic to all of the aforementioned fruits when they are raw. But apple pie is always good. All in all, I still can't get rid of the big cities completely. You know, having a full-time job takes me to Espoo, the second biggest city in Finland, a few times a week. True, one of the worst traffic that Finland has to offer. No, it's not fun. But I enjoy the job, and it brings bread to our table, hay for the horses and fodder for the chickens. Overall, farm life is not for everyone. But I enjoy it and I'm not planning to stop. If you have an itch for a farm life, I highly recommend it.